Hello, YouTube world, and welcome back to Salonpreneur Magazine, the podcast, and welcome to Dodger in the background there, just coming in on time. And today I'm joined by Emma Stobbs, who is new to the world of Salonpreneur Magazine and joined us on the last edition as our social media marketing, simple salon marketing, collaborative columnist. So hello, Emma, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
That's okay. Nice to have you. So we're going to be talking about today. This is Emma's article, and it is all about why having no plan nearly broke her business and a simple strategy that's tripled her turnover. So this was Emma's first article for us. And so today we're just going to be having a bit of a chat about what kind of informed the article and some of the problems that Emma's come up against that she has learned loads from and is now able to help other business owners with. So, yeah. Tell it, or actually, just sort of like give everyone a little bit of a quick background as to what you do in your world still.
So I've had my salon for 11 years now. I came from an aviation background. I kind of fell into the beauty and just loved it, and then had an opportunity within the first 6 months of co-owning a salon to take it over fully, which I did. So I didn't know about business, didn't know about beauty, kind of liked nails, liked lashes, hated waxing. And actually now waxing's, I'd say 50-60% of my business. And I love it. And I've got obviously memberships as well for waxing. And yeah, it's been a struggle. The trials and tribulations of the industry, and then obviously going into COVID, that gave me a lot of time to kind of redirect my business and niche down a lot. So I stopped doing nails, mainly because I became allergic to a lot of other things as well. So I'm allergic to a couple of things that are massive in the salon world. So I'm allergic to leuphonium, which is the sticky residue in wax.
So handy for a waxer.
And then I'm also allergic to some other bits in nail polish. So I stopped doing nails. I knew I couldn't stop doing waxing, so I changed my brand to one that I'm safe with. I stopped doing spray tans. I just really looked and analysed a lot at what was working, what wasn't.
And I think COVID gave us that opportunity, didn't it, just to kind of stop and breathe and reframe. I think doing what we do, we hadn't had an opportunity. I mean, actually, I have to say, I watched other people have the opportunity to calm. My COVID was very busy because of stuff I was doing in industry. But I do think it gave so many people opportunities to see their business from a different perspective.
Yeah, and I took a step back, and I really had to because of my allergies. So kind of grateful for that as well. In that sense, I had to learn a lot more. Nails, I'd say at the time, were 60% of my business. So not only coming back and not doing nails, coming back and not being able to do faces for a long time as well. So yeah, but then I found that easier when it came to planning my marketing. I took on some coaching in lockdown as well, and I still have him now. So actually making things into smaller chunks, so having less services certainly helped, because I just used to throw anything at sort of social media. I used to have all the offers under the sun that I could think about for that month that might fit, if I threw it at it and it stuck, great. But 9 times out of 10 it didn't. So I had no plan. The coaching massively helped with.
And I think as well, though, one of the things I know myself, having had a full service salon, is it's really hard to know what to pick out and what, because obviously we have seasonal things that kind of shift, don't we? Like waxing is always busier as we go into summer, and then it dies off in the winter when everyone lets themselves go hairy. But I think that there's so many things, isn't there, that when we're full service that we are literally firefighting on what we're putting out there. It's really, really difficult.
Yeah, and I think it's easy to get swept up into trends. and going, actually, well, I'll do that because that seems really popular, without actually looking on. I see so many times on industry groups saying, I want to do facials because skin's good money.
Yeah.
But they have no interest in the skin. They just think about the money, and they think, I'll just do microneedling for 60 quid.
Yeah.
It's
funny, actually. I've just seen this morning on a massage group I'm on, and people saying, what's MLD? What's this MLD? Why is everyone doing MLD? Which, if you don't know, is manual lymphatic drainage. I'm still trying to work out what BLD is. There were people talking about BLD, and that's a new one on me. I need to go and research that. Answers on a postcard, please. But much in massage, like we get in a lot of, I mean, I that's my own, like the only thing I still do is like massage and holistics. But I do that. They've got this like bandwagon thing at the moment, and because there's a thing about body contouring and stuff, and I think the BLD comes more into the body contouring and trying to move lymph to create body shape. I mean, it's yeah. So trying to a degree, you want to kind of jump on those things, but equally they're going to usually be fairly short-lived and not necessarily benefit your business.
Yeah, and it's that as well. And then I think, like, for me, being able to sit down with a clearer path towards my marketing. I'm undiagnosed ADHD, so I will do this. But to sit down because I have less to throw at was that. Then when I found it started sticking better, I looked at my ideal clients and again started to niche that down, because I thought, because I covered all of the services, I covered it for everybody. And that wasn't necessarily the case. Yes, I have male clients. No, I don't market to them. Yes, I have trans clients. Yes, I market to them because of being a safer space. I'm all about for everybody and everybody. I myself was 17 stone at one point, and I used to attract very curvy girls because they felt safer. So then I started to really niche down on my ideal client, and now, especially being a perimenopausal in my mid 40s, I find it so much easier now to talk to that one person. And my marketing has got better, my promotions have got better, and my turnover has double, trebled from what I used to, even as a sole worker. So only up until May last year, I was on my own for 2.5 years. Even though I've got 2 treatment rooms and what was a nail area, but I was still turning over. I think at my best, I've turned over 20k. And that was when I'd listened and I'd sat down and I'd analysed, and I had a really good offer, and it was the only thing I focused on. Rather than focusing on so many different things.
And I think what you're saying as well is like coming back to that point about, you know, you've worked out better what your ideal client is, and you know, and we all have a variety of different people who come to see us, don't we? But I think if you need to talk to that person. I remember when I first started my other podcast, Inspiring Salon Professionals, when I first started that, I actually sat down because I found it so hard sitting talking at a microphone. It was the most hard thing. And that transfers into how we speak to people on social media. And I literally found a stock image of the kind of therapist that I wanted to talk to, and I put a big photo of her on the wall in front of me, just so I kept her in mind whenever I was talking to the microphone. And I think that kind of, and whether you're talking to a microphone or you're typing out copy for your socials, you need to have that kind of person and what you're delivering to them in your mind, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. And I think as well, people will always say something about TikTok. My ideal client is not on TikTok.
No, nor's mine.
Because we just don't have time. I'm a busy professional. My ideal client is a busy professional that wants high quality treatments. And my clients are not on TikTok. My clients are not on Snapchat. But if that is your ideal client, you need to put your marketing towards where it actually sticks. And analysing really insightful like data from Instagram and Facebook. I often find Facebook, for me, I don't get much engagement at all.
Yeah.
But I know where people come from.
Yeah.
I'm constantly asking where people come from. How did you find me? I constantly have new clients. And because of what I do, so mainly waxing, laser, electrolysis, and skin. So the frequency of visits become a lot further apart when we're dealing with hair removal down the line.
That's it. And so therefore you need more clients to be busy.
So we have the capacity to continuously take on new clients. I've got obviously my therapist Lauren as well. And it's looking at where people come from, and a lot come from Google reviews. I'm very proud. So I think it's about 260 odd 5-star reviews.
Nice.
So focus a lot on that, posting on there, posting photos, relevant content that people will find keyworded, SEO'd. It takes time, but you only have to do it once or twice a week.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I spend a lot of time helping people with Google and even on websites and stuff as well, isn't it? It's, you know, we need to address some of that back end stuff, and like with what you're discussing about analysing the data, so just give an example maybe of like on Facebook where people can look, or on Instagram where people can look to see what those numbers are and how to kind of understand it. Because I think it's a bit of a, people post just like frantically, don't they, quite often, and then they don't ever check into what's actually happening and the engagement that they get.
Yeah, so I know on Instagram, I haven't looked on Facebook for a long time because it's not worth my time.
Yeah.
Because I know people see it, but there's barely any engagement. So the most engagement I get is Instagram. So on the professional dashboard on your homepage, you go in there and it will tell you the demographic. So it will male or female, unfortunately, just those two words, but male or female. It will tell you the time and the days that your page is looked at most. So mine is beginning of the week at between 6 and 9. So I always post my posts at 6:30.
Yeah.
Because I know roughly that's when probably my ideal client is sat on the train. Because I'm only an hour from London. Or they've just got home or they've set the kids down and just having dinner. So looking at that, actually the demographic of the age range is younger for me than my ideal client. But that's fine, because those females, because my ideal client is a female, will eventually get to where we are now, or where I am now.
Yes. And it's about building that. It's that whole building the know, like, and trust, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And getting 100%. People to understand, so that when they are ready to meet you, they know what choice they need to make. I've just been doing loads of work on my like visibility side of my business, other than the magazine. And on that, the word that's kept coming up to me is about being chosen. And I think that's the most important thing. It's like, we need to lay all those breadcrumbs out so that people find the pathway to us and choose us over anybody else.
And it's about the relativity of it. And if someone likes my personality, the way I am, I'm bubbly. I say it as it is. I don't hold back sometimes. But it is about relativity. And so I've just been on a salon retreat with my coaching group. And my coach was talking to us about AI. And we do see so many AI. And actually, sometimes you sit there and go, is it AI? Is it not? I don't know. I don't know if I believe this. And we're seeing it more now. A talking baby, is AI. But some of the others, you think, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
So getting on the Instagram reels, talking, being there, being real, will help build that know, like, and trust as well. Be relative. Obviously, there's no point me talking about chemical peels coming up into the summer. So it is about choosing what is right now, and who it's right for. And obviously the pain points, things like that, but it's now. And I think just getting your face out there, I know people are scared to do it, or they don't like it, or they're not comfortable, but you're going to attract your ideal client and align with those clients if they keep seeing your face and they like what you're saying, or it's relative to what they're thinking.
And I think it's so important. Yeah. Go on, sorry, Emma.
We can target Facebook ads. So as you know, I had scammed a while ago. And the targeting on Facebook ads, the way they did it was so poor. Now I look into it, because they were only targeting people that had physically typed in their phone that they were after laser hair removal. Not the ones that were thinking about it. So it's covering that aspect of what was my ideal client be thinking about at this time of year. Well, it's coming up to summer holidays. They're going to want hair removal. They're going to want glowing skin. They're going to want X and Y, or body scrubs and spray tans and things like that. So it's looking about what your ideal client would be wanting and what they're thinking.
And I do think as well, that whole thing around the fear of being visible, because I think we tend to, and I mean, like me, I'm quite okay. I wouldn't do podcasty things if I wasn't okay being on camera and having my voice heard. I would not be doing this. But it did initially. It took a lot, and the first one I ever did, I was terrified. And even though I'd done a few Facebook lives and stuff, there is nothing scarier than recording your own voice and your own image to put out there for the world to see. And if you're not used to doing it, it can really put you off moving your business forward. We need to move the needle, and doing things like this where you are seen. I thought it was on silent. Things like where you're seen, and people can. I think what we fear is that people are going to make a judgment on us and they're going to react to us in some way, whereas 99.9% of people aren't going to do that.
No,
it really is a minority of people that will call you out or say anything negative. Most people are quite often in awe of the fact, a little bit, that you have got the braveness and the audacity, or whatever it may be, to be that person that puts themselves out there. I think as a business owner, we kind of need to own it a little bit, because it is us behind our brand, especially nowadays. There's so many of us that are solos, and we are the person behind our brand. And so we're the only one that they, like, a potential client's going to connect with when they come to us. And so if they haven't got anything to warm to other than a logo, it makes it quite hard, doesn't it?
It's a barrier. Phil, we did a book club in Tenerife, and Phil chose a book about, I think it was more about parenting. I'm not a parent, but I have staff. We still have to parent in a different way rather than physically having children. My partner's got children. So, and it was about vulnerability. I think I want to say Divine Brown. And she was talking about vulnerability, and actually vulnerability is actually a really good thing. And it's that vulnerability is the way you're going to get that connection with the clients. Like you say, a logo is not going to make a connection. It's physically, there is no emotion behind a logo.
It might attract somebody because it might be a color they like, or a font they like, if they like fonts. You never know. But it might have an appropriate picture. But if you've got like a fairly generic logo that's like a bit of acrylic-y kind of paint in the background, and, you know, Nails by Sue on the front, it's difficult to stand out when you've got something like that. And giving yourself the opportunity and and it does sometimes need you to be brave to step out there, but you have to be brave whenever you step into any client situation, because you've got to face that other human. And it's just a different way of doing things, isn't it?
I did a reel back in December, and obviously again it was a Grinch, rolling around on a bed, before and after photos, which we don't get in intimate waxing, and it was basically mocking that, and the engagement was just went through the roof. It was ridiculous because most of my clients found it hilarious, and we got so many reposts because it was just fun and it was funny. And for weeks and weeks afterwards, people come in and say, "Oh my God, that reel was so funny."
Yeah.
Or, "Oh my God, that reel made me book because you've got a good personality." And they're a new client and they felt like they're getting their intimate bits out in front of a stranger, more comfortable, because they know I've got a sense of humor.
Yeah. And I think as well, and it's funny actually, I said this, I can't think who it was I was talking to last week, and they're not particularly in the industry. I think I was at networking on Friday actually. It was a printer who came to our networking for the first time, and he was saying, "What do you do?" And I was saying about the fact that we have to build rapport. We as an industry, and particularly in something like intimate waxing, we need to get that client from our front door to virtually naked within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And comfortable. And it's a really, really hard thing to do.
And screened as well, which we spoke about before.
Yeah. This is
making sure that they understand we're a professional clinic, professional salons.
Yeah.
But also from that safety point of view, that they feel safe with us.
Yeah. And having that social media presence where we're talking about, where you are visible online and people can hear your voice and they hear that you, especially, you know, we're generally looking to our local area. So, you know, if you sound like them, that will help massively. If you know, and they generally want people to mirror who they are so that they feel comfortable. And whether that's through sound, through look, through vibe, through whatever it may, there's so many different layers of like how we interact personally. And as long as they can connect with a couple of those things with you, then they're going to more likely to become a client, aren't they? And they're going to help build your salon, help build your expansion, help build your growth. And I think if anything we can do that makes people feel more comfortable, and it might make us feel uncomfortable in the moment whilst we're doing it, but once you've done it a few times, it's like anything, isn't it? You know, if we go back to the first time we ever had someone's, like, you know, a broad picture of someone's labia in front of us, how terrified were you of what you were about to do to that person? You know, it was scary. But you've gone on to create a very successful business around intimate waxing. I had a very successful business built around a lot of intimate waxing, because you get used to it, and you overcome the fear, and you become successful and competent and very, very, you know, very skilled at what you do.
Yeah, and we're one of the only intimate waxing salons in the local area that actually do the whole lot. So, I think I looked the other day, I think it was 700 and something intimate waxes so far this year.
Yeah. Just this year.
Yeah.
Don't. I know. I actually haven't done a wax for, I think the last one I did must be just before I sold my salon back in 2021. So I wouldn't want anyone to be under my Hollywood at the moment. I need a fair amount of practice, I think. But it's funny because I can still, and every now and again, I still feel my brain going through the motions of it's really odd. There's sometimes those thoughts creep in. I don't know why it creeps in, of like the thought of doing intimate waxing. But with a lot of treatments that I don't do any longer, my brain will still, when I'm working, my brain will still throw those thoughts up and help. It's weird.
Yeah.
But, I think it's anything we can do that helps us connect, because that's everything we do is about connection. And that human. One of my industry friends, she's very into AI, and she's got this phrase about you know, AI is fantastic. It will do huge things for us. It will be the most amazing tool for all of us. But fundamentally, we can't change that our clients need the human earring. And I think that phrase of like human earring just says it all, because that's what makes us special.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think eventually, one day, a robot will be able to wax your bumhole, but they're not going to be able to.
I don't know that I trust it.
No. I mean, I wouldn't, but they're not going to be able to keep you calm. They don't have that empathy. They won't have the sympathy. They wouldn't have been through the same thing. And I think that's, especially in the industry, being able to reassure people that we do this day in, day out. It's normal. That's normal. This is expected. We have it done. We know what it feels like. We know what to expect afterwards. And it's the same, like, obviously now in the position that I am in with the marketing, understanding. I've been there and I knew what didn't work. I know what's working for me right now, and that has started to pay off over the last couple of years where I've knuckled down.
Yeah.
So it's understanding and empathizing with my industry peers as well as my clients.
And also, so just as an example, because obviously you are, like you just said, you've really knuckled down. So how much time do you do daily stuff? Do you schedule? How much time a week would you say that you kind of put into your marketing planning?
Well, if we go back to October, so I took my marketing back over myself. I did outsource it, and then so I've learned. I left it, and what I wanted to be done didn't get done because I wasn't directing it. And I think sometimes we outsource things and then we forget about it, and it doesn't get that attention. So I took it back on, and then October last year went on a retreat of Operation Done. So we had 2 days in Alicante, and we sat in a conference room, and I planned out my marketing for the whole of 26.
Wow.
And implemented most of it in the 2 days. So,
wow. So now to a degree you can kind of sit back and let it reap the benefits.
Yeah, I tried to do months and months ahead, and then that felt lost to me. So I still work on it on a almost daily basis, touch points. But now I had my plan, and that's what I never had. So I know I didn't have a plan for March, actually. And I sat there the other day and I thought, what's needed? Mother's Day is coming up. Looking at utilization. So my therapist has more time than I do. She does more laser and waxing. I do more skin and electrolysis. So I need to be available for those. So I put together a promotion, which is a lift and sculpt, and it is around that lymphatic drainage, but for perimenopausal, that kind of glowing skin education, along with a scalp massage and a hand and arm massage. And just so it's perfect for a Mother's Day voucher and treat. It's perfect for that kind of spring skin kind of promotion. So it's thinking what will work right now. And so far this year, because I'm focusing on skin, where I had to drop skin for laser when I needed to push and keep that laser consistent. So skin's my focus this year. And it's just going, okay, what will work? So I'm getting the graphics done and playing around with those to keep in with my branding. My branding is really important to me. The colours. And now if I see anything remotely like my green, I think, because I think people will know that as well. So it's about keeping consistency with your branding. And that kind of the imagery as well. But I still probably spend a couple of hours a week. But that's because I enjoy
having that plan and understanding what all of your theming is going to be and stuff like that for the year, isn't it? I think that's a major part, because I think we tend to be very reactive with social media, don't we? And I know with the stuff I do for the magazine is I've now got fairly set posts that go out like on they're scheduled for a year, that are fairly like core to what we're about and what we do. But then as we go through launch, then it changes and everything starts shifting. We go into launch phase, and then afterwards we go into sharing all these videos and stuff, so that it just keeps information going out there. But it is about having that plan of like, when are you trying to sell, when are you trying to educate, when are you trying to shine a light on something that you're doing, and just trying to make all of those different nuances not necessarily visible to who you're trying to attract is the key to it, isn't it? I think really it's just sort of
and I think, like we always say in our coaching group, version 1 is better than version none. But I think people do see when you are just throwing at it, they will see that. And then I like to educate. I think, and especially I think people around my ideal client, my age, they want to be educated. But also I want something that's going to excite me, and I want something that's relative to me, but I also like a good laugh. So it's kind of having a nice mix, but with a plan of maybe one day, because we don't even need to do social media that much. Instagram 3 times a week, stories every other day, using the buttons available by Instagram, and Google My Business a couple of times a week, couple of photos, couple of posts.
Yeah,
and there needs to be that consistency. If you drop off, then it will make an impact.
Do you know what I think I would love is if you could schedule Google Business Profile. I've yet to find. I've not found
you
it.
can.
Oh, how? What have you found?
It doesn't work.
I know. I've yet to find one, and that would just complete my whole world if I could. If I could schedule Google Business Profile.
There is one. I can't remember what it is. One Up IO, I think. I'm sure it was One Up IO.
Oh, I might have to go there. That could be the thing of the whole of this video is just like that little snippet. Need to find that.
Yeah. But the Google My Business scheduling doesn't work. Because I sat there and did a whole month's worth, and when I look back, it was all scheduled at the same time.
No.
So that's not right.
The thing is, I think we all need to understand like the benefits that Google Business Profile has is huge, and I do a lot of work around it, and I think we really need to get people in our industry to understand it's like local searches, and what you're saying about the education is so key, because we need to educate so that we stand out as an expert, because if we know more than them, then we're teaching them, which means that we have a higher status. So we don't want to be our clients. We need to meet them where they are, but we need to meet them with information that they need to know, rather than just trying to be their mates all the time, because it isn't about that.
No. And I think we get a lot more, especially with clients. I had a lady come to me the other week for a skin consultation, Fitzpatrick 6, and she suffers with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation.
Yeah.
She wanted some microneedling chemical pills. She's also struggling with X and Y. And I was like, absolutely not. I said, I can't touch you anyway. But another salon down the road had said they'll do microneedling, but she just had this niggling feeling. And I was like, crack on. But you will be PIH all over your face, and we need to do this. We need to look at that. And as we got deeper and deeper into the consultation, I think I actually spotted something very similar in her that I have myself with my allergies and hormones. Yeah. And I just said to her, there's nothing I can do apart from these products. This is what I would recommend you do. We've got to look at it from a different angle. And she walked away with so much more respect that I'd said no. Yeah. Because even though another salon had said yes, but their microneedling was only 60 quid. Yeah. So I think sometimes
it's a difficult place, isn't it? But I think but we have to do the right thing, and if we know that it may cost us a £60 loss on our treatment line that week, but then we might score like £300 later when they've done those treatments, they've come back and maybe they've lost the PIHP on their skin isn't as sensitive, and then maybe you can pick them up. Or maybe you can pick them up for instant waxing or for whatever else, because if you've built that connection and that trust with them and said no for one thing, they're far more likely to come back to you for something else. Do you know what you're going to be writing on in the April spring edition?
I think possibly email marketing. I don't think we do it enough. And again, it comes up time after time after time. I think it's something we all shy away from. So probably email marketing.
Wonderful.
Interesting.
Well, I'll look forward to that. So thanks ever so much for joining me today, Emma. And I will speak to you on the next edition's podcast.
Thank you.